Duck Hunt Dog! Hello again, YouTube. It's an exciting time. I'm Dr. Kendo, and why am I excited? Because the Duck Hunt Dog was recently confirmed for a certain special game out there, a very famous game. I'm pretty much giving spoilers out, but I'm just not gonna say the name in case somehow I can maybe hide it from people who don't want spoilers. But at this point, how could you hide from it? Almost everybody knows, I think. So yes, I just wanted to do a speed creation of the Duck Hunt Dog, and also the Duck Hunt Duck, as they appear in Unsaid Famous Game. So I'll just go over everything that we're using in the creation real fast, as we show it on screen here. All you have to do is use a dog as the source object, and paint it with kind of an orangish, almost orange-brown kind of hue. It is very orange-colored. And then you use an egg for the head, and then another egg angled for the snout, and another egg for the nose, and then another 2 eggs for the white of his eyes, with yet another 2 eggs for the black lines or dots of his eyes. And each one of those things should be painted accordingly, of course, with the corresponding color. The droopy long ear is created with 2 headbands painted black and angled in a way to make it look like a long ear. And to make the mouth of the dog, you can just use an eyebrow and paint it black. Use the general 29-page library of shapes to find the green arm that does not have the dot on it. You know, in Scribblenauts, a lot of the connecting pieces have a little dot. Well, you don't want that. And then you just paint it a reddish, pinkish color, and that gets you the tongue, if you put it over at the end where the mouth is. And that's mostly it. Within the scripting, of course, the Duck Hunt Dog that I've created will shoot a purple duck when attacked, along with my usual scripting to make him become brave when he loses or gains health. This makes it so that he won't run away from fights whenever they start. And so you just put that in the same scripting. You know, you just make him wait a few frames after getting the adjective, and then make it shoot a projectile of a purple duck. He also shoots out a projectile of a red target, but just once, because I unchecked the box for repeatable. The trigger for that script is when he sees an object, and I filtered that to be evil and criminals. And lastly, he's also scripted to show 2 different emotion emoticon expressions from the game whenever he moves near plants, and I did this to signify the dog from the Duck Hunt game laughing behind the tall grass, of course. And even though this is a speed creation, I'm going to go ahead and give some background information, and this actually leads in also to the confirmed reveal of this character in Unsaid Famous Game, of course. So, Duck Hunt is an NES game that debuted in 1985 in North America, April of 1984 in Japan, and it was one of the games Nintendo developed to make use of the NES Zapper or light gun technology at the time. There were some other ones, which we'll get to a little bit later. The concept is simple, though, as the player was basically given 3 shots to shoot the ducks as they come on screen, and if the player can't do so, the infamous Duck Hunt Dog will appear from behind the tall grass to commence his all-too-famous mocking laughter. So as I said before, he was recently revealed in Unsaid Famous Game as a playable character, and he has an interesting moveset that involves ducks, gun target cursors and blasts, as well as some more interesting historical tidbits being involved with his attacks. In one of them, he kicks a tin can around that says Hogan's Alley. For those who don't know, Hogan's Alley is one of the first NES games to use the light gun input from 1984, and it was also pretty simple in that you just had to shoot these cardboard cutouts as if you were doing some kind of gun training at a range or something, but you were presented with good guys and bad guys, essentially, or maybe I should say gangsters slash criminals whom you were supposed to shoot, and friendlies slash innocents whom you were supposed to avoid. There was a bonus round in the game, however, where players have a limited supply of ammunition, and the object is to shoot 10 tin cans thrown from the sides of the screen and try to bounce them onto a ledge on the other side for some points. So that's where the tin can comes from. But yes, I had actually both of those games, and they were, for some reason, they were in my sister's room at my parents' house back in the days when I was growing up, but I was actually the one that played the NES, you know, it's like I was the one making use of it and everything, and for some reason it was in her room. I could never figure that out when I think back to it and look back on those times. But we're also going to create the Duck Hunt Duck, of course, who sits on the back or shoulder of the Duck Hunt Dog. Basically, you just use a duck as the source, then use an egg for the head, and also an egg for the white part of the eye, with dots for the black pupil, and also for the white glimmer spot within the eye. And of course, paint all of that the appropriate colors. Use an eyebrow or ivory or something that's in that shape for the white peachish colored belly. And I've scripted it to always ride on the back of dogs, and to add the adjective fearless when it's created. wood. So this way, you know, it can't fly the duck hunt dog away from any fights if something starts attacking it. So we've got them right here. We should have them fight an evil villain. Of course, that'll make the duck hunt dog shoot out the red target. And his normal attack, I should have said, his just basic level attack is a discus. You know, I wanted him to throw out a frisbee, and of course, if I could, I would make it white, but you can't really edit the adjectives of the normal attack projectiles. So that's currently what I have the attack for, is that he shoots discus. So I like it. I like how they turned out. It looks like the actually the Duck Hunt duck, for as simple as it is. It looks a lot like the real character, so that's pretty awesome. But anyway, I hope you guys still enjoyed this, even though it was kind of a speed create rather than a full-out step-by-step creation. And yeah, I hope you're excited. Duck Hunt dog! And I am totally gonna use it in
down the road of twists and turns.